Hey, this is Nikki G and welcome to Better Commander. Today we're taking a walk down to Jund Value Town with Xira the Golden Sting. Alright, listen, I have a Corvold deck and it sits in the corner of my room. It's just a shameful reminder of my broken dreams. I flew too close to the sun. Do you need to draw a card every time you sacrifice a permanent? No, you don't want to do that. Xira the Golden Sting is 1 black, red, and a green for a legendary creature, Insect Assassin. It's a 3/3 with flying and haste. Whenever Xira the Golden Sting attacks, put an egg counter on another target creature without an egg counter on it. When that creature dies, if it has an egg counter on it, draw a card and create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. I think this hits a really sweet spot on the power level continuum. It can be really nasty, but not so threatening that it's an arch enemy situation. In playtesting, I noticed that it's pretty consistent and kind of inevitable. This ability can target tokens, and it can target our opponent's creatures as well. I'm not sure how she gets the eggs on there, whether she has a wasp-style ovipositor or if it's more of an alien face burster thing. I like to imagine she uses her extra hands to sneak eggs into people's pockets, and then they find them later, and they say, "Oh no, I got an egg. I guess I'll die." So in this deck we want our creatures dying for value, and we want to use creatures that kill off our opponent's creatures, then we can sacrifice them later for value too. And we want to include our well-worn, well-explored aristocrats to drain and kill off our opponents. Oh yeah. We get in and out, the whole shebang, for $60. Everybody needs to be value conscious these days. Gasoline is $1,000 for a dang teaspoon. Aristocrat-wise, we're running green, so we want Poison Tip Archer, along with the Zulaport guy, we got the Blood Painting guy, and the rest of the gang's coming along for the ride too. We also want lots of instant speed sacrifice outlets. Depending on your budget, you can go from Viscera Seer and Carrion Feeder, plus the old Woe Strider, all the way to the Holy Trinity of Altars. You got your Ashnods, you got your Phyrexian, and you got your Of Dementia. These are great cards in a sacrifice deck, any Aristocrats deck really. But if you're a really cheap fella like me building on a budget, you can get into Nantuko Husk, Bloodflow Connoisseur. And let's bring Goblin Bombardment for the ride. I mean, this is the best red sack outlet. You can clear out all your opponent's value creatures. Now we're going to be sacrificing creatures and we want lots of value. To be precise, we want to be drawing lots of cards. So we have cards like Midnight Reaper, Grim Haruspex. Those are great for this, but don't trigger off of tokens. Morbid Opportunist triggers off tokens, but only once per turn, so we want to be very mindful of what we're sacrificing and carefully read our cards. Let's not forget about Blitz Creatures. Blitz Creatures are really awesome in this deck. Jaxus the Troublemaker can be egged up if we blitz her in, or we can egg up her sweet tokens. Zeotor's Envoy is a pretty beefy card, nice value piece, and Tenacious Underdog and Metzio Mugger kind of round out our blitz monsters. We blitz them in, we egg them up, when they leave the battlefield, we draw 2 cards. That's what I call value. Alright, I want to get a quick plug-in for a card that I really love in Aristocrats decks, and that's Pattern of Rebirth. It's 3 and a green for an enchantment aura. When an enchanted creature dies, that creature's controller may search their library for a creature card, put that card onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. If you want some combo creature, you can get it with this. You want some value piece, you can get it with this. If we have a sacrifice outlet, we can do this at instant speed on our opponent's end step, or in response to whatever. Anyways, give it a look. Alright, you want some tokens? Sling Gang Lieutenant and Chittering Witch are both sacrifice outlets themselves, and they come with a couple extra bodies that we can egg up. You might want to include some creatures that sacrifice themselves for whatever value. Blind Zealot, Bane Whip Punisher, these are great budget includes and can draw you into missing pieces if you don't have your value engines online. Xira can egg them up, sacrifice them, draw cards. Let's take a card like Big Game Hunter. You egg up your opponent's big nasty creature, Big Game Hunter enters the battlefield, slays the poor galoot, you draw a card, and you make an insect. Then you can egg up the Big Game Hunter later if you want, mercilessly pop him for more fun times. Yeah, and same thing goes for Ravenous Chupacabra and Noxious Gearhulk. These are great cards in a deck like this. What about Bizarro the Dreadful? Yeah, 3 black. Legendary creature Gorgon 5/5 with flying. Tap, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. I've never seen this thing played. It's a pretty cool card. You can egg up anything you want. Egg a bird, egg an emu, and Bizarro eats it for breakfast. It's like fried eggs, dude. So all this stuff is dying, you probably want to bring it back from the graveyard. Splash a little reanimation in there. If you have a little extra cash, Necromancy, Animate Dead, Reanimate are all reanimation staples. Whoa, but wait a second, you can reanimate on a budget. If you're building with a less than stellar budget, you can put an incarnation technique. Victimize, Ever After, these do a great job bringing back multiple creatures. Yeah man, Xira the Golden Sting is a chance at redemption for the horrible sins of Korvold, but I might not be able to help myself. I mean, hear me out here. We can run Pitiless Plunderer, Chatterfang, Protean Hulk, any other combos we want to as well. Amp the power level really sky high. Oh boy, either way, Xira's a really cool commander. I really like her, it, whatever. I worked up a $60 budget list, but this card isn't in Moxfield yet, so I have the old Xira standing in. Why don't you check it the heck out, and while you're there, like and subscribe and leave a comment for the algorithm. This is going to be Nicky G from Better Commander, signing off.